This is the book of Ezekiel chapter 7. Ezekiel 7. I'm gonna start at verse 1, and it reads, Moreover, the word of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua came unto me, saying, Also thou son of man, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, power unto the land of Israel. The end is come upon the four corners of the land. Verse 3, Now is the end come upon thee, and I will send mine anger upon thee, and will judge thee according to thy ways, and will recompense upon thee all thy abominations. Verse 4, And mine eye shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense thy ways upon thee, and thine abomination shall be in the midst of thee, and ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Verse 5, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, power and evil, and only evil beheld is come. I want to start off with Salakia. I'm going to jump to verse 25, and it reads, Destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. I want to start off by giving all praise, all honor, and all glory to call Elohim Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Rachakadosh B'Katham. Double honors to my apostles, the elders, at a great millstone, teaching through rule well. I want to say peace and salutations to the Aki across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, risking their lives and the freedom to do so now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Aqua, thought they're listening and learning, Lord, willingly this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad, and other nations appearing like the other nations, but who subscribe to this truth. To you, I'll say Shalom. This your brother Yahweh Sap out of the GMS Cleveland Church, a fellow servant, coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit and through the power of Yahweh Shemiel Shai. This lesson is in regards to an article. I think somebody posted, one of the brethren, and we coming into the time of Jacob. At one point in time, so who's to say, that's like a person disciplining you on or talking to you about how you discipline your child. To whoop your child. But anyhow, so like I'm a little bit all over the place. It's a restless night, but the Lord's putting that spirit, that warlike spirit, back in the earth. Can't think of that word. It's a scripture where it talk about that word, where it talks about warlike. It's I can't think of it exactly, but I know it's a scripture. It's a scripture that's used quite often. But point being, because of the day of Jacob's trouble, it's going to be a lot of violence in the earth on the day of Jacob's trouble, and you see that with the whole. You see that with the whole. With the whole. Just all this violence. You got all these different acts of violence going on. You got men killing women, women killing their kids. Just a lot of stuff going on. And scriptures say, I'm going to get this real quick. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 32. And I'm going to start at verse 9, and it reads, Rise up, ye women. That's some bullshit. Salaki. These apps, they don't just go to the scripture no more. All of them got ads. I remember this didn't used to do that. Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice. Ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women. And, pretty much That's going into you know, but sometimes it's applied and used, like twofold, or it could be a twofold scripture because brothers tend to use it for talking about these modern day women, these Babylonian women, our women, the women of our nation that are beguiled by Shantan, this red Hebrew Edomite, the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan. They're beguiled because they really believe they have a place and a position in his kingdom, and they do, to have their heel on our necks, because you could tell you could tell the position of a nation by where their women are at, how their women act. And our women are brute beasts, wilder beasts. You know what I'm saying? And look at the times we're coming in. Violence is so much in the earth. They're past the draft, or they're basically trying to pass legislation to draft, and they're trying to make women not exempt. That's how much the Lord is about to judge the earth. Verse 10, many days and years shall you be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Verse 11, tremble ye women that are at ease, be troubled, ye careless ones, strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. Verse 12, they shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vines. So, the vintage is this place failing, and you see it every day. You got these businesses, failing every day, pretty soon. Got a family and sole provider, and to show you how I know it's the Lord testing me, in actuality it shouldn't have been. This bitch nosy. I'm just talking about women that did this bitch. Salakia, that's Satan though. But I know it's the Lord because it really shouldn't have, I did everything I was supposed to do, and pretty much it still was, my case was closed. So when things like that happen, that's nothing but the Lord. And I know it's pretty much a test, but when I'm going through things now, I try to just look at the positives, the things to be grateful for, because it could be a lot worse. It always can be a lot worse. I've had nothing out here but the truth, and the Lord, saw fit to bless me with, a house and home. I mean, I watched the Lord basically strip me or see what I was going to do. Well, pretty much he stripped me, and then he blessed me with it all back. So, I mean, Salakia, but, this place is falling, and how much more so, this place is going to be filled with violence. So I'm going to get a little bit of this article. I don't know if it's a video. It is a video, so I might not have to read it. But this Copyright Act, copyright, fair use. Says moment well-dressed woman 58 is ambushed by baseball bat wielding attackers in broad daylight.
At Great Wolf Lodge, there's excitement in every slot, adventures waiting to begin, and dance parties every night. So bring your pack together and
Salakia.
Book your stay today and strengthen the.
Hit her right in her shit. They beating this bitch. Gangster with it. And he took the purse. So
let's talk. That gap was uncomfortable. What's more uncomfortable?
Salakia. And the spirit, because the guy that I work with was showing me, we got a page in Cleveland called the Remembrance page. And it shows just all kind of, shit on it. A lot of judgment though. And, it was a guy right downtown, and he was with, they robbed him right downtown. The thing, what I find amazing about it is our our justice centers downtown. That should be the most heavily patrolled area, but they're not patrolling nothing. That's how you know this is orchestrated, you know. And I was just telling him, like, you know, he could have. I mean, he a lot more. He's considered a blessing, because I remember last year where the guy pretty much got robbed, and they shouldn't regard their kings or princes. They're not. They're going to regard the authorities. The 58-year-old victim was checking her phone at around 2 p.m. on Tuesday when the two attackers dressed in all black crept up on her. Surveillance footage captured the shocking incident. Shows one of the men punching her in the back of the head before the other hits her with a baseball bat multiple times. They continued to hit her as they tried to steal her purse, but she managed to fend them off. The attackers left empty-handed. Oh, I wasn't for sure. It looked like, I thought they took it, but no, it kind of did look like she still held it. Yeah, she was in the spirit there. You know what I mean? Because you didn't hear her cry or see her crying out or nothing. But, and you know that shit hurt it. He hit her in the kneecaps. The woman was transported to New York Downtown Hospital as she suffered swelling to her head and bruising to her left leg. Neither men have been arrested, and they are still on the run. And that's shocking. It's not shocking, though. The scriptures talk about in 2 Ezra chapter 5 about the incontinencies multiplying on the earth. You know, when you go into that word incontinency or incontinent, it means lawless, without self-restraint. So you're going to have more and more brazen acts like this of violence. The book of 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1, and it reads, "This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come." So when you go into that word perilous, it pretty much goes into the word kalipas, meaning dangerous or fierce, hard to bear, hard to do. So, you know, in the last days, it's going to be hard to live, hard to survive. It's going to be hard to maintain, you know. And that's why people are going to be, you know, doing a lot of things out of desperation, you know. You know. So, then, you know, it goes on to further say, "For men shall be lovers of their own selves." You know, people should be selfish, you know. So just imagine when it comes to that time, and, you know, people already going to, you know, they already talking about shortages here, shortages there, you know. What happens when a person is selfish? You know, they don't have the Spirit of the Lord dealing with them at all. You know, brothers share amongst each other during these times. You know, brothers can literally say, like, I could say, like I heard the elder Big Bro say. He said, "I can never say I was completely wrong in this truth. You know, I could never say a brother just left me for, you know, dead." You know, it says, "For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud." You know, and pride is one of the 6 things the Most High hates. Blasphemers, disobedient parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affections, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, lawless, fierce. And like I said, when you go into that word, calipas, it's fierce. You know, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of the Most High. You go into the do as thou wilt spirit. That's heavily saturated, or Babylon, you know, will have you stuck in that mindset. You know, so just again, you got to understand, the times are coming in, they say, hard times make hard men make good times make weak men make hard times, because it's a cycle. So, you know, the scriptures talk about in the book of Isaiah chapter 4 and I believe chapter 5 about how, you know, it's going to be a specific type of man these women are going to be looking to, you know, and that's going to be a man of the Lord. But you're going to have these demons out here too. And, you know, and like I say again, the Lord's setting up this thing masterfully, because like I say, I'll be looking looking at some people like, how is that person not judged or that? Because the Lord got a specific fate for them. You know what I mean? Scripture says it's a fearful thing to fall in the hands of the living power. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 13. And I'm going to start at verse 14. Because when that day of Jacob's trouble comes, that day of lawlessness, that day of violence towards Jacob, this is going to be how the scene is going to be painted. Isaiah chapter 13 and 14. And it shall be as a chase road. Well, this is more so when we, basically are allowed to put our hands on our enemies. Because, the scriptures talk about it's a righteous thing to recompense those that have troubled thee. And it shall be as a chase road and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people and flee everyone into his own land. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. So that's going into all, you 2/3 niggas that's joined onto this red Hebrew Edomite. Because again, the Lord is going to turn the tables. Jacob's trouble, this devil going to come down with great wrath, but through the Spirit, the Lord going to put the Spirit on certain men to do certain things. And then, like I said, when men are given that spiritual power, we going to come and we going to bust ass, you know what I'm saying? But, you got to look at it on the flip side too. This devil going to come in, he going to fuck up Jake real bad, you know what I mean? Crazy part is, I remember we was talking about that at camp maybe a couple weeks ago about they found the body in Cleveland Heights hanging. It just so happened the guy that was showing me the Cleveland Remembrance page, he said that guy was his cousin. So I don't know, sometimes the Lord always setting up your steps, but sometimes he got you in specific places for specific reasons. So I don't know if this dude's supposed to know the truth. He got a big ass beard but a bald head. You know what I'm saying? And then I've had issues at jobs trying to tell the truth. And I remember one nigga, I tell this nigga the truth, this nigga go tell the white people, the red people. And I kept the job, like the elder said, he been in situations like that, but it was just funny to me, like, these motherfuckers, I had to play it smooth where this red Hebrew Edomite, pretty much, I didn't even like the motherfucker, but I would sit and talk to him just so they could see me talking to him. So, because this whole ass nigga that went and told these motherfucking people all this corny ass shit, but then he trying to impress me. Oh, you think I would say fuck these crackers? I'm like, this nigga crazy. Salakia. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that's joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Those that are joined on, like those the 2/3 celebrities that pretty much are trying to push the agendas of these Edomites. Yeah, they gonna be judged along with him. Verse 16: Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished, just like ours was. But before that time comes, you're going to have that time of Jacob's trouble. And best believe, certain men, it's judgment, they children going to be, put to death, and their wives are going to be ravished, just like at times before, But you got to remember that, Jacob's trouble is not the end of, Jacob or Israel. It's, judgment for the 2/3. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51. And I'm going to start at verse 17. It reads, Every man is bruised by his knowledge. Every founder is confounded by the graven image. For his molten image is falsehood, and there is no breath in them. This devil, who turned the truth of a lie. Salakia, turned the truth into a lie, who changed the image, If not, who is he? Earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Verse 18, they are vanity, the work of errors. In the time of their visitation, they shall perish. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name. Israel is the rod of his inheritance. And that was going into how, like I said, in Isaiah chapter 13, how it said the children should be dashed to pieces when the Most High put the Spirit on Jacob to pretty much rouse up, because again, Jacob's trouble is going to come first. but then the Lord is going to come, give his certain men spiritual power, and, he's going to run through Esau. Verse 20, thou art my battle axe and weapons of war, for with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. Verse 21, and with thee will I break in pieces the horse and the rider, and with thee will I break in pieces the chariot and his rider. Verse 22, with thee also will I break in pieces man and woman. And that was what I was really trying to get, because these women are not exempt. They showing you that with, like I said, creating this legislation, talking about they could draft women. And with thee will I break in pieces old and young, and with thee will I break in pieces the young man and the maid. So even down to children. I will also break in pieces with thee the children and Salakim. And I also will break in pieces with thee the shepherd and his flock, and with thee will I break in pieces the husbandman and his yoke of oxen, and with thee will I break in pieces captains and rulers. Because the Lord is about to pretty much judge all flesh. Verse 24, and I will render unto Babylon and to all the inhabitants of Chaldea all their evil that they have done in Zion in your sight, saith the Lord. So again, that's Jacob getting power to put down his enemies. It's multiple scriptures. I know one is in Leviticus, when, the Most High, when we're right with the Lord and the Most High is pleased with us, it's tell you how one would chase 1,000, you know what I'm saying? And 10, or one to chase 100, and 5 will chase 1,000, roughly paraphrase. I don't feel like getting it, but I know it's one in Leviticus, and I think it's another one in Deuteronomy or whatnot, but it's in the Old Testament. But the point of me bringing that scripture out is that, like I said, the Lord is going to judge these women. You ain't saying nothing yet. The brother was, a lot of brothers, made comments or posted and said, you women are in trouble. That's why Isaiah 32 said what it said. Rise up, you women that are at ease. Like I said, when a person is like when what's the word? A predator is stalking, it usually seeks the weakest prey. And like I said again, you gonna see that spirit come out where these women gonna be like, damn. Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 4, and it reads, and the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahshua said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh, that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Verse 5, and to the others he said in my hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. So when you go into the account of this, basically it was the Most High God speaking to the Alahayim, which are the angels, and basically he told the one angel to set a mark, a thuwah, on all, the elect. But he told the other angels, everyone that didn't have that mark, to be utterly slain. So again, this going into women not being exempt from what's about to come, because we coming into the time of the Lord's judgment. It says, verse 5, and to the others he said in my hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. The book of Peter talks about judgment should begin at the house of the Lord. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. Then the scriptures talk about how an unbelieving wife could be saved through her husband, and vice versa. An unbelieving husband gets to be saved through the believer. So yeah, we about to get into serious stuff. If motherfuckers is moving like that, and I kept on just speaking on Escape from New York, how violent it was, and how, this is not by coincidence. They set in these cities, you had Escape from New York and Escape from LA, and both of these cities, crime is just running rampant. So just imagine when Jacob's trouble happens there. I pray for the elder apostles, the beloved the beloved elders, apostles of the great millstone who rule and teach well. And I pray for the brothers in, Ancient of Days, and all the brothers in, like, Chicago, these major cities. I pray for the brothers here, but I pray for all the sincere Akim, because we are about to be tested, but, surely the Lord will preserve his elect. So, if you're so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the laws, to the statutes, and to the commandments of your power, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, and you will be destroyed. With that, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to call Allah Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua Ba'ashim Chakados Wakatham. Double honors to my apostles, the elders of the great millstone, teaching do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Say shalom to the Akim and the Akwat out there listening and learning. Lord willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad, in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, subscribing to this truth. To you, I say shalom. Till next time I'm able to come with another lesson, say shalom, Kwam Yashar, shalom.